Hello everybody, today we're going to play another 10-minute game and we're going to play the Sicilian defense. We're almost at 1800 elo, so let's see how it goes. And this is a mistake. This is the accelerated Grand Prix attack, but you have to play this knight out first because now we can strike in the center with this move. Because the knight isn't developed there. And after take, we don't take back, but we offer another pawn. So it's a gambit, but it's the best line for black, because now we get pieces out, we get center control, and this pawn is sticking out like it just doesn't belong over there. So we're just developing. He can pin our bishop, but it doesn't really matter. We can defend it with one of these moves, but we can also just keep on developing. So let's develop the knight. If he really wants to damage our pawns, be my guest. You open up the B file for the rook. He's trying to strike in the center. So what can we do? Let's see if he plays it. But I think we should just develop the bishop to this square to keep our queen open on this diagonal. He jumps in, putting pressure to the knight. Now we can play queen to b3 because we defend the knight 1 time extra. So he takes, we take the pawn, and now we have pressure on this side of the board. Maybe in the future we can also play a move like this, restricting the pawn breaks. So these moves don't work anymore. But right now we can't even play it, but I don't know, we should of course first cancel. We do have it with check right now. So I actually do like this move. Why? Because now there is a way that the bishop can block, and now we already have a clamp on this d6 square. So I like to play rook to d1 before castling. So now we really control the square. He can still play this, but then he has to retreat with his knight, getting his strong knight out of the center. So that's why I'm choosing for the rook move and not for castling. We will castle them. f5 might seem scary, but we can just move to the center, putting even more pressure to the king. So let's see if white doesn't do anything, like just not really anything. We can just castle, move our rook to the center. So he's playing this move, targeting this side of the board. If we take, he will open up his rook. So I don't like that move. I think we should just let him take and focus on development. So I think we should castle in this position. And if he takes, you want a pawn, a second pawn. But we have much more pieces out than him, because he still has developed this queen side, and he cannot even move them. He can go here, but there it doesn't. If he takes, it doesn't have anything to look for. So we might want to take with the knight. Now we can maybe take. We can also just get rid of it. So let's say take, rook to e1. But I do not really like that. So now I like taking because of course we do win a pawn, but the downside is that we open up the rook. But now we take with the bishop. Now the e-file is also a bit more clear, and we're not running into f5 business anymore. He's gonna have to move his queen. I think this is a logical move, although then we can move our bishop back with a tempo. So I'm not sure about that, but then he can just up and over this way. But in that position we can jump to the center with the queen. So I like retreating the bishop with a tempo, putting pressure, and now I like to jump in the center with the knight, attacking the queen once again. Maybe it's gonna move back, I don't know. Now also the f6 square is cleared out for the bishop. The rook will come to e1, and if the queen goes, for example, here, we have this fork, and we are just winning the rook, because let's say the queen went there, we could have gone check, and if he moves here, or let's say he moved there. No, let's say he moves up, I'm sorry, because then if he has to take, because otherwise we get the smarter mate idea with the queen. But he moves back, all the way back, so now I just like to move the other rook, make it more active. And I think he might play something like this. Seems logical, but I don't know what he has in mind. He's making a loft for the king, but it does weaken these squares a lot. So I don't know what to think about this move. But if he's gonna chase our knight away, it doesn't really matter maybe. So let's put pressure to the center. We're threatening to win a pawn because we're even right now. So let's see what he will do. I think he's gonna have to move this, or he might play this move, taking the queen. We place d5, d4 immediately, but this means we get a very strong outpost. We can take, but then he's gonna open up his rook, which I don't like. So we can also hop on over to this side of the board. We can put pressure to his center, which I kinda like. We can also maybe infiltrate with the queen. We can just make a waiting move, make a loft for the king. But I like to put pressure to his center, because also I really like the queen on this diagonal for some future queen-sided, king-side attack. And now we're also threatening to win this pawn, so he might defend it, but he can play this move because then we will take the bishop. So then he's gotta play this move, which is alright, and then he's threatening to take and attack our queen, and we can recapture. Yeah, of course, this move is there attacking our queen. If he take, we destabilize our knight a lot. So I'm thinking we should just move our queen to some, let's say, like here or here, but I like this more because we attack this pawn. It does give up this pawn, so, but I like this more. He can move forward and attack the queen, but then we just take the pawn, attack the rook, put pressure to the knight, and this knight cannot really move anywhere close. Our pawn is hanging now, so we can get a very active rook, but now we're threatening to win this knight also, so that doesn't work. So he's gonna have to play this move, but it walks right into the fork, so he can't play the move either. So I don't really, yeah, he can just move this knight. Let's say, let's move it over here, taking the bishop, or this, but can we just take the rook? If we take, what is this? Does he have a plan? I mean, I don't see the plan, because he can move his bishop anywhere. So I'm saying let's just take the free rook, I guess. Maybe he just forgot it wasn't protected. Let's see what he will do. Maybe he will resign. Very possible. He's playing f5, so it was a mistake because there isn't something concrete that he just got out of it. We can now maybe move here. No, we can because it's protected. We can take, or we can take over here. Take. Yeah, I like to take. Look, he's taking back. He can not take the knight because it's defended by the queen, which is important because otherwise he could have taken the knight. No, actually no, because we win the rook, but in a lot of these positions, when there's not a rook there, he can capture the better piece. And now, because this knight left this position, I like to move here, and I attack the knight, so it's got to move, but then we can take it, and we get this fork, winning the rook. Also winning it because it's attacked 2 times. No, actually not, because the king can move. So we take, he's taking back, and now we check him, winning the rook because he's not going to give up the queen. And you can resign in this position because you're just down some. You could have resigned when you lost the rook, because we're just up a rook. Now we're also going to be up an exchange. So let's go for it. We can also take like this to trade the queens. Yeah, let's go for that line. He resigns. Good game. We're almost at 1800. We still to analyze here. Yeah, we can just go and analyze the opening for a little bit. So let's see. He plays this, and the best move he says is e6, but we play this move, d5, punishing him for not developing the knight. And after takes, we offer him a second pawn. I guess I mixed up a line, because in this position there's check. We take the queen to e2, putting pressure. And if you play queen e7 back, he just develops, protecting the pawn. I'm very sure that this is a line of Daniel Naroditsky. He was a great man and he taught me a lot. But I guess it just isn't a good line. What we should have played here is just knight to f6. Oh yeah, I remember. And after c4, we can play this move e6. Because then he has these 2 very bad pawns, and we have developed a it's kind of the same, except he played c4 and we developed the knight. So now he has weaknesses and we have a piece extra. So that's my bad. We should have played e6 immediately. We should have first developed the knight, and if he defends it like this, we can just take the pawn back. Now there's no knight to come out and attack us. So that's what you should remember. First playing the knight out, and then only playing e6 after the move c4. But we managed to win anyway. We just developed. He didn't punish us the best way. He doubled our pawns, that's okay. And here, was it the best move? It was the best move. Clamping down on these squares with a check. He moves rook to d1. He liked castling more, but I liked rook to d1 because, like I said, I want to take en passant and make him retreat his knight. Yeah, and I thought maybe we should have already taken like this. But I thought let's just go with our development, because taking for him is not that good. It wouldn't be bad either, but we could have just had very quick development and pressure over here. So I didn't worry about that. He also thought it wasn't a good line. He developed the knight. Now we won our pawn back. We attacked the queen a couple of times. And here it says we're much better. Why? Because of f6 chasing the knight. The knight moves back. And now queen to b7. So just a very computer line thing, setting up this battery along this diagonal. But I liked how we played, developing the knight, bringing the rook to the center. He's made a weakness, bad move. We got our bishop in the game. And here there was also a better move. We should have played queen to b3 immediately, putting pressure to the pawn and to everything. But we played c4, pressuring the center. And after this move you just hang a rook. From here it was pretty easy. We got this fork and he just you want to trade the queens. An important lesson, don't take with the knight. Yeah, maybe he was forced then to go for this line too. And in the end we even win his bishop, so it's 2 rooks versus nothing. So thank you all for watching, stay tuned for the next video.